the power you give them.
Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Lucky. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the best mods for the 3.6 Dodge Challenger Charger, and I think this stuff will also work for the Chrysler 300. If you guys are new, please consider subscribing to the channel and joining this family. Besides that, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So the first mod I think anybody should consider doing whenever getting ready to mod their Pentastar is, number one, is an intake. As we all know, these cars from factory are not orientated towards to be are not meant to be any performance monsters or anything like that, but that doesn't mean that you can't, you know, sit here and mod your car to your likings and make it, you know, perform a lot better than what it does. I don't think anybody would want to be driving around a sluggish car, so a cold air intake I feel is going to be very beneficial, mainly because the stock one is so restrictive from the intake box itself all the way to the tubing that runs to your throttle body. Changing that out will give you greater pedal response. Your car will breathe a lot better. I think it's a great first mod for anybody that's just getting their feet wet into, you know, modding their car and learning about, you know, how all this stuff works. Okay, so I think the second mod that anybody should do to their Pentastar, so for the second mod, I think exhaust is the best second mod to do for the 3.6. And what we're doing right now is we're removing all the major restrictions on the car, that being number one, the air box, and number two being the factory exhaust on the car. Preferably get something with resonators, or, you know, whatever kind of style it is that you want. I just know that yes, everyone, you know, thinks that straight piping the 3.6 is like cool and everything, but the amount of drone and the rasp that comes with that is not something that I think that you would want to endure, and that's coming from someone who's had multiple exhaust setups. I've been refining mine, and this is what mine sounds like now. I'm still going to be doing some tweaking to make it sound exactly the way I want it to sound. And the exhaust that comes on the cars from factory is very restrictive. I would put this below doing the intake, mainly because it's not going to net you a whole lot of gains, but it is going to help in the long run. Okay, so mod number three that I would recommend for the 3.6 Pentastar is an upgraded or ported throttle body. So you have a few options whenever you're thinking about throttle body swaps for the 3.6. There is the BBK 78mm, I believe, throttle body that just bolts right on. You can do a ported, you can get your stock throttle body on your car on the front side ported so that it can open up the diameter. I don't know what the maximum is, and I'm going to assume that the max porting for the stock throttle body would be around 78mm as well. Or you can opt for a true Hemi 80mm throttle body. With that, there's a lot more potential because it's a stock throttle body and it can still be ported, and that's what I'm going to be doing with mine, is porting mine. I have an 80mm on the car right now, and I will be porting that to 87mm because I'm not able to get the Hellcat 92mm throttle body. A throttle body is going to make your car more responsive on the throttle, more torque down low, but you're not about to see a whole lot of increase over the entire power band for horsepower. Maybe like 1 or 2 at best down low, maybe in the mid-range, maybe 5 or something like that, but it's not going to be anything that's just crazy. And right now I'm just making suggestions that will set your car up for this next mod that I'm about to let you guys in on. So with this next mod, this is you really getting into it, and now like we're getting into the big boy stuff. Tuning your car. That is mod number 4. As far as tuners, you have a few options. You can do a HP tuners, which is the one that I recommend. And then the second big option is Diablo. So with the Diablo, they use CMR programming, which is only available to shops. So if you ever need to do a refinement or tweak or anything like that, you will have to get in contact with whoever does your custom tune. The canned tunes that come on a little handheld tuner, they are not any good. They're not really gonna, you know, help your car out that much. Maybe like 5 horsepower or something like that. It's not whatever y'all are seeing on that box. That's just, you know, advertisement. So for mod number 5, I would recommend a gear change. And this is mainly me speaking to the rear-wheel drive cars. A lot of the cars, they come with 262s from factory, some come with 308s, and I would recommend getting a limited slip diff. Swapping that in is very, very simple. All you would need in order to do a gear change is the gear itself, whatever gear you go with. In my car, I have a 390. There's also 370 and there's also 309. The 309 will be very beneficial to anybody that has the 262s. And then anything above that, I feel would be beneficial. And if anybody has a 308, I feel that a 370 or 390 would be very beneficial in that aspect if this is the route that you want to go. For anybody that's worried about what the RPMs are, the change, or doing anything else, I didn't have to change anything on mine. It just bolted right in. My speed is still accurate. The car, whenever I'm cruising at 70 miles an hour, the tach is only at like 21 or 2200 RPMs, and that's kind of it. I haven't had any other issues. I will be adding a diff brace to mine because I do plan on taking my car to the track, and it's a pain in the butt to find. And honestly, y'all, I don't have a link for you to go buy a 390 gear. Everybody always hits me up and asks me, yo, where's the link, blah 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 blah. I got mine with special pricing off of a friend that I'm not able to release to anybody, and that's all that I can, you know, say on that. Just know that if you hunt around and shop around, you can find 370s and 390s. You can find them on Instagram, you can find them on eBay, or you can Google search and find a 390. And then since swapping out my 390 in my car with the light tune, my car ended up getting a 4.90 to 60, and I'll throw that up right here. And for mod number 6, I would recommend getting a custom tune for E85. So E85 is really just an abbreviation, right? So in E85, you still contain gasoline, but 85% of that is ethanol. Now that is not always the case. It depends on whatever pump that you go to and whether or not that the station that is supplying the E85 has a great enough ethanol content in it that it's safe to run on whatever tune it is that you have. So if you're on a dedicated E85 tune, the general range for people on E85 needs to be around like 65 to a higher percent, 85% obviously. It really depends on what pump that you go to. Custom E85 tune on a naturally aspirated setup is still going to net some power gains, but not as much as what you would get on a boosted application. So the two factors that really make E85 such a beneficial mod as far as getting a custom tune for E85 is the cooling factor and the high octane rating. So with E85, you can run a more aggressive timing. It reduces the amount of detonation in the engine, and it just overall runs a lot cooler. So a cooler intake charge is going to allow your car to make a lot more power, and it's also a lot safer. Now, like I said before, it just depends on what pump and blend that you get from that pump. There's E85 test kits out there that people can run, and with E85 you're going to also have to run about a 30% bigger injector so that you can make the same amount of power or a little bit more if you did on 93. And I know that explanation was a little vague. I'm not any guru. I just know that after seeing countless of different applications on ethanol, that is a very beneficial mod. And as soon as we get the PCM back, that is what is happening with the car. Like I said, we're just waiting for them to send me my replacement, which hopefully will be Saturday here, and then we'll be able to get the car tuned and start having a whole lot more fun on it with that. So for mod number 7, I would recommend getting a performance oriented downpipe. So if you guys don't know, the newer Pentastars, they don't come with the, you know, normal exhaust manifolds. They have a monoport exhaust because it is a velocity port head. So there's no way for us to get any headers, but there is a way for you to still get some kind of downpipe onto the vehicle. You can get catted high flow downpipes, or you can get catless downpipes. That's what I have on my car. And after installing those on the car, man, it was an immediate change. Like, I noticed it right off the bat. Oh, you will need to get your car tuned for this, but if not, I think you can get away with running the little O2 sensor bong spacers, but it'd be more beneficial for you to take advantage of the actual downpipes itself and get your car custom tuned for that. So for mod number 8, I would recommend getting the Pentastar lightweight crank pulley. The car seemed to run a whole lot better overall. Now, that is a part that is still in prototype, stage. I'm waiting for the second revision to get back to me, and then whenever I have that on there, I'll be able to give you guys more information on that as far as how beneficial it really is. But initially having it on the car, it made the car perform a whole lot better. That V6 Camaro that I raced him without the pulley on the car one night, and he walked me still. After putting that pulley on the car, the next time I went out and I ran him, the car performed a whole lot better. I kept up with his car a lot more than I expected to, and hopefully moving forward we'll see more on the product and be able to see how much more that the car can make with it on. So mod number 9, so we're doing all of this stuff to make the car make more power and perform a lot better, but you also need to not only upgrade the performance of the engine but the overall handling of the car. Mod number 9, I'm just gonna conglomerate it all together and say suspension, drivetrain. So I would recommend upgrading the brakes, whether that's changing out the complete brake system to a 6-piston brake, 4-piston brake setup, or just upgrading your rotors and pads to some R1 concept or some better rotors that will result in a better stopping ability for your car, because you don't want to be doing all this performance upgrading and then not be able to stop your car. These cars are heavy, they're big old boats already, and running around on stock brakes, and you start getting the big old shakes and everything whenever you're stepping on the brake pedal. It's not anything that you want to deal with. And then for the 10th and final mod, I would recommend boosting the car. So whether that's with a RIP supercharger, which is what I highly recommend everybody doing. They have proven kits over and over, time and time again, and they have kits available for all cars 2011 all the way up to 2020. They're a really stand-up company. Their customer service is 10 out of 10. They always take care of me, and I know they take care of a lot of other people out there as well. They also have a lot of other mods on their websites that you guys can go check out, and that will also be very beneficial in making your car perform a whole lot better. And there's also other companies out there like Sprintex or Prodigy, or getting a custom system onto your car that I feel would help your car wake up. But overall of them, I just highly recommend RIP, the Vortec blower, and the blow off valve, all that stuff. The kit is just top notch, top quality, and they're really in the forefront of the Pentastar game, and as far as providing a great solution and boosting your vehicle. So that is my list of mods. I gave you guys 10 mods, great mods. There's a market for your car, man. You don't have to sit here and think that just because you have a 3.6 that there isn't anything out there for you to do or to mod your car. And I think that my car is a great testament to that statement, because my car, I've changed out almost everything on it. The only thing that I haven't touched on the car so far is the interior yet. All I've done is added a subwoofer and then a steering wheel and the bigger screen. That's what I'm going to leave you guys off with. I appreciate all the support very, very much. Like I said, I have all the install videos and reviews of the parts on my channel if you guys want to check any of that stuff out. And this has been Lucky, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.